don't want to ride when my head's not in it. You know what I mean?
You know that it's a way to get your head in the game though, because it forces you to, it's a moving meditation, man. It forces you to pay attention to what knocks all the rest of that crap into the background noise.
You guys start hitting me up, dude. Pull me out for a ride, man. Supposed to be nice this weekend. Yeah, I try to hit it at least once a week, just for the bike.
It's all that radiation.
I kind of like it. Nice. Nice. I bet you that's it.
Not too bad at all.
Put it on yourself, though? Imagine you see what that can do.
Huh?
It was all of drilling 4
Yeah, they do park there.
Oh, it's good.
All right. The live stream is up. So please go to the YouTube Comedy and Kits app, subscribe, and share the link in your Facebook, please.
Are we allowed to laugh loud?
Please laugh. There is laughter being recorded on this live stream.
He said loud.
Don't overdo it, please. Also, please give a warm welcome to your first comedian. Once he shares the live stream, I'll bring him up. He's in the middle of it. He's going to be our test run.
Yeah, it's not letting me.
Oh, no.
It's not 7 o'clock yet.
It's not letting me share it. Oh, there we go.
Please share this link. There is a link under the video in the details that you can click on to donate and contribute to the show. This is my first time doing this live stream with accepting donations through YouTube. So if there are issues, please be patient. I appreciate you. I love you, all you weirdos out there in the internet world. All right, bring up your next first guy. Billy Campbell, everybody.
I like how you hesitated to call me Guy. Oh, man. Is this thing even... All right. So, my brother just got sentenced to 19 years in prison this week. Yeah. I'm okay with it, though. It's officially cemented me as being the only good kid my parents have. They've actually lowered the bar so much that even if I go to jail at this point for a couple of months, I'm still considered the good kid. Oh, man. I've decided today, while I was hanging out with my daughter, that we were listening to lesbian gangster rap, which I didn't even realize was a thing until today. And we decided that there is no bigger pervert than a woman that is sexually harassing another woman. And they get away with it. It's the worst part. Like, a woman could walk up to another woman and go, "Those are amazing titties." Doink. And they get a smile and a hug. If Joe tried to do that, you'd set his fucking nuts on fire. If Joe tried to do that to me, we might have a date. No, I figured that out too, more like hanging out with my wife, because every time she gets a little drunk, she'll start sexually harassing the women in the bar and stuff. We were hanging out at a bar one night, and this lady walked by, and I looked down at her pants, and she's wearing these wonderful crushed velvet leggings with gold embroidery, and I went, "Oh my goodness, those pants are fucking amazing." And my wife goes, "What is wrong with you? That ass is amazing." And the girl didn't even look at me. She goes, "Oh, thank you." And my wife was like, "No, I'm serious, man. I want to take a bite out of that thing." And the girl's still giggling, and she goes, "Where did you get that? A Kardashian backyard sale?" Oh, I love my wife. We are actually polar opposites. And now that it's getting darker earlier and stuff, we both smoke outside. But when it's getting darker, I make sure to go outside with her to smoke And she thinks it's actually a really sweet thing, you know, that I'm spending extra time with her. Really what it is we have a family of raccoons living in the backyard, and I kind of need her for protection. But I am definitely going to take the bonus points. Oh, man. Let's see here. Woo! Is that just because you were cold, or are you actually very excited to see me? Aw, shucks. I'm still not giving you any of my beer, Johnny. Oh, man. So, I've been working on some other stuff at home. Mostly more dad jokes to annoy my kids with. I love my dad jokes, and I could hear from the yes from the crowd that you know what's coming. Here's the thing, like, I will actually put in major effort for a dad joke. I planted a pear tree in my backyard last summer. Just for this winter, I can staple a picture of Danny Bonaducci to the tree and tell the kids I have a partridge in a pear tree. And I came home the other day, and my daughter asked me, you know, how was work? And I said, well, it was actually pretty busy. I ran around the kitchen so much that I wore holes in both my socks. I must have did like 500 yards. She's like, wow, that is a lot. I was like, well, to be fair, when I put my socks on this morning, I knew they only had about 2 feet left in them anyways. She was like, man, I really want to be upset with you, but that was a great setup. Jeez. I have 5 kids, and I love having 5 kids because if you mess up one, then you got 4 more, and you call the first one a mulligan. Ask my brother. But the thing about having 5 kids is no matter how well you raise all 5 kids, if one of them turns out to be a serial killer, that really ruins your whole fucking track as a parent. Because if one turns out to be a serial killer, no one is ever going to let you babysit again. Ted Bundy had 4 brothers and sisters. You don't ever hear about Glenn Bundy and how great he's doing. Oh, man. Been watching a lot of Oxygen Network lately. I like watching those shows, you know, like the serial killer stuff and, you know, all that mess and whatnot. But it's made me fear my wife a little bit more. Like, you watch the shows Snapped and whatnot, and you realize that when men snap, they snap. They just blow up. They do that shit. When women snap, they're nice for a really long time, and then you die. Like, anytime my wife goes from being cranky to just suddenly nice, I know it's time to make my meals by myself for the next week. Oh, man. Well, Joe, I think that's about all for me right now.
Sounds good, man.
All right. Good test run?
Great test run. Thank you very much, Billy Campbell. Great fucking test run, bruh. All right. What do I do next? Fuck. Okay. The live stream's up. What? Oh, hey, what's up, bruh? Live stream's up. Please share to your Facebooks if you haven't already. I appreciate it. There is a donation link. I tried to set it up to when people donated, their name would show up on the screen. So I haven't seen anything yet. So hopefully that happens. We'll see. I think we're just going to go ahead and keep going with your next comedian, everybody. Up first, after the Billy test run, because Billy doesn't count, he's not real human today. Give it up for James Roberts, everybody.
It's kind of... You guys hear me? You guys hear me okay? Yep. You guys hear me now? Yep. Good. I feel like that Verizon guy. Yeah. That's right. I switched to Sprint. Just kidding. I didn't really do that. Although I did save a bunch of money on my car insurance by not having any. It's kind of awkward because the camera's here, but the audience is over here. Wow, my buttons look tired. So believe it or not, I actually have stage fright like really bad. Like every time I do this, I'm just doing the best I can not to break down, cry, and shit my pants. And I hate it because it's such an irrational fear to have. Because there's nothing scary up here. Like, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? Are you guys going to laugh at me? was talking to a buddy of mine about this, and some guy overheard it. He's like, why don't you smoke some weed before you go on stage, man? And the answer to that is, I don't smoke. And he got offended by that because he's from, like, Oregon or something. He's like, why not? It's legal here. I was like, yeah, bestiality's legal in Kentucky. Doesn't mean I want to line him over there to make a minotaur. But even though I have stage fright, I really love doing comedy. I love making people laugh. I learned something really cool about laughing the other day. I learned that laughing releases a chemical in your brain that recharges your T cells. And your T cells is your body's natural defense against cancer. So I guess what I'm saying is laugh or get cancer. Actually amazed at how well threatening the audience actually works. But I got to drive all over the place for comedy. All the comics here know that. But I'm from Centralia, so it took me it was like 100 miles to get here. And this is one of my closer places. But all over the place, Everett, Portland, Spokane, Oklahoma. Went to Montana once, not to do comedy. A buddy of mine had a job interview over there, and his car broke down. So I had to go save him. One of the lines he used to get me to go save him was, there's a beautiful woman behind every tree in North Dakota. It's like, first of all, you're full of shit. And then I got there. That would be the realest thing I've ever heard in my life. There are no trees in North Dakota. Like, not one. So I was hanging out with my cousin at my grandma's house, and I was telling some of my jokes because he's never heard them before. And he got really excited. He's like, oh my God, I know another place you can tell your jokes at. This is before COVID, because you can actually tell jokes places. I was like, I can't tell my jokes there. He says, why not? It's an open mic. I said, no, it's a clean mic. That's different. I'm a pretty quiet person. I don't really say much. But when I do, typically it's just the fuck word. And my grandma overheard this. We're going to go to church. Church is going to fix this. It's like, all right, Grandma, I'll go to church with you. I feel like you're about to get me a whole bunch of brand new material. So I went to church with my grandma because church is going to fix this. And it turns out they don't like when you cuss there either. Like, did you know you can get kicked out of church? Oh, that's a weird feeling. Because they're like, don't worry, Jesus still loves you. Just not enough to let you in his dad's book club. Like, I'm not really religious. I can't even ask myself what would Jesus do. Because I know that dude made his own alcohol and hung out with prostitutes. It's a bad combination for me. But honestly, I just don't really like being lied to. Like, they're trying to say the first man, the first woman was Adam and Eve. That's not true. According to the Bible, that's not true. According to the Bible, it wasn't Adam and Eve. It was Adam and Lilith. Yeah, you guys are looking at me like, I don't know that story. Don't worry, I'm about to tell you. So basically, God was hanging out with Adam in the Garden of Eden, looked around, saw all the other animals in pairs, and he said, you know what, Adam? I'm going to build you a girlfriend. And Adam was like, golly gee, God, thank you. So God went over to his Build-A-Bitch workshop, and there he made Lilith. And he explained to her, like, hey, I made you to be Adam's girlfriend. And she took one look at Adam and was like, I'm sure you have a great personality, but I don't like you like that. And then the all-knowing God was like, I did not see that coming. And apparently God didn't take rejection very well. Kind of took rejection like a toddler getting the wrong colored plate with breakfast. Like, he straight up kicked her out of Eden. And I have a lot of respect for Lilith. Because you know that old saying, not even for the last man on earth? Lilith meant it. So God looked over at Adam and was like, we're going to try this again, but I'm going to need to borrow one of your ribs. If it doesn't work this time, we'll take out another rib, and you can make like that rumor in junior high about Marilyn Manson and just suck your own dick. So God went back to his workshop, and there he made Eve. And he explained to her, like, hey, I made you to be Adam's girlfriend. And she was like, sure, I'd love to have sex with my genetically cloned twin brother. That's the story how Eve became Adam's rebound girl. It's also the story how about kicked out of church. Ironically, church laughed harder. So since COVID happened, I got a girlfriend and a baby. The baby came first. But now I live with this woman, and it's weird things have happened. Like, now we're watching, like, GTV, or what is it called? Where they just, like, a bunch of people, want a house, so they'll buy one. HGT, yeah, that one. All right, I already fucked that joke up anyway. But, dating's kind of weird because before, like, you date someone, you didn't know what the hell was going to happen. Like, you show up to someone's house, and they're like, welcome to my sex dungeon. I'm going to, put you in black leather and hit you with this whip. No, thank you. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and rate this booty call a 1 out of 5 stars. Your Netflix had, like, 0 chill. And I used to think that I could try, like, anything in bed. And then I realized that people are freaks and no, I won't. I guess not even all the crazy stuff. Some of it's more mild. Like, if you're going to suck my dick, I kindly ask you to leave your fingers out of my asshole. Thank you. No, I won't pee on you. Sober. Another one is, like, if you're having sex with me, don't hit me. I feel like that's wrong on so many levels. Like if I thought I was experiencing some good old-fashioned cowgirl, she thought she was experiencing some good old-fashioned UFC, and she knew how to ground and pound. And if you're one of these people that like to punch people in the face while fucking, give them a heads up. And a mouthpiece. Another big one is don't call me daddy. I feel like that's just wrong. Like, and I'm pretty sure that, fuck this joke up too. Yeah, rusty shit. Don't call me daddy. I feel like it's wrong on so many levels, and I'm pretty sure that my kids are going to have to grow up calling me dude. It would work better if I didn't fuck it up. Like, it's not all bad. There's some crazy things out there I've tried. Like, I was with this one girl, and she was, like, real into bondage, like, heavy into it. So I was like, this would be fun, new and exciting. 2.5 hours later, playing Boy Scout later, tying this lady in knots. And I'm finally done, and halfway through it, I get to thinking, this doesn't feel like kidnapping at all. Like, I hog-tied the fuck at her. Like, she couldn't move. And I got to thinking about it. It's like, how is this supposed to be fun? She can't move. I have to do all the work now. But she was all for it. She's like, do whatever you want to me. I said, okay. I want to untie you. That's it for me tonight. I'm James Roberts.
Woo! Thank you, James. Fuck yeah. There's some hand sanitizer right there, everybody, so please use that. All comics in between, comedians, let's stay sanitary, COVID-friendly. We are outside right now, and it is cold as fuck. So I appreciate everybody braving the elements for this live stream event. So without further ado, let's keep it up for your next comedian, everybody. John Ludwig. Sanitizer, John. Sanitizer. Use the sanitizer. I'm going to be a sanitizer police tonight. You're not dying on my watch, bro. You're going to fuck my live stream up, bro.
No, I got too much shit to do to die.
Fuck yeah.
Well, let's see. I just recently celebrated my 50th anniversary. Yeah, thank you, of my 21st birthday. Is this on? Can't tell. There it is. There it is. Oh, and that was a great day. It really was. But yesterday, not so much. And I'll tell you why. To the rat bastard that took my antidepressant meds, I hope you're frickin' happy, because I'm not. I used to work for a biotech company. They cloned sheep. But they let me go because during inventory I kept falling asleep. Alcoholics Anonymous is for quitters. And I quit too. I quit smoking. I gave up tobacco for vaping, and I gave up vaping for pot. And I gave up pot for cocaine. I can't find my TV, but the good news is, at this point, at least I'm tobacco free. You know, now I've always wanted to go to England, especially London. So I saved up my money. I booked my airline flight, checked out the best hotel money could buy for what money I had, booked a bunch of tours, and I'm 4 days from a 6-day vacation in London. And I got this cat. Anybody got any cats, animals? You know, you love them, right? You love them to death, you know. The difference between a dog and a cat is a dog has a master, cat has waitstaff. Pretty much. So anyway, I'm down to 2 days before my vacation. And I still haven't found anybody to watch my cat while I'm gone. Finally, a friend of mine calls me up and he says, hey, I'll watch your cat. I go, hey, cool. So I put the cat in the carrying case, get some extra food, feeding instructions. I go over to his house. Drop the cat off. He says, the most important thing for you to know is that I love this cat. Do not let anything happen to my cat. He goes, cool, no problem. It's no big deal. I can take care of this, right? So I get on a plane. I get this long flight, drop into London, go to my hotel. I got jet lag really bad. So next morning, I'm feeling pretty good. I have a continental breakfast. I'm on my way. I'm on these tours, and it's all cool. Next day, same thing. More tours. Big Ben, Parliament, London Bridge, Thames River, the whole 9 yards. A friend of mine calls me up. I look on the phone. I go, oh, crap. What's this? He says, hey, man, how's your vacation going? I said, oh, I'm having a great time. I'm relaxed. I'm just enjoying the hell out of London. It is so cool and so different. He says, well, I got some bad news for you. I go, well, what is it? He says, well, your cat died. I go, son of a bitch. Hung up on him right away. 5 minutes later, he calls back. He says, hey, man, I'm sorry about your cat. What do you want me to say? I said, well, you could have said the cat's up on the roof. You know, and then you could have called me back and said, hey, your cat fell off the roof. I had to take him to the hospital. They're taking care of him. Then the next day, you could have called me and said, man, they did everything they could to save your cat, but your cat died. He said, that way I would have been prepared for the loss of his cat. Emotionally upset about this, just a basket case. Hung up on him again. I'm back on vacation, you know, and I'm having a good time, and I almost recovered from the loss of my cat. He calls me back, and he says, man, I'm really sorry about your cat. He said, we good? I said, yeah, we're good. So he says, well, I'm afraid I got some more bad news for you. And I just don't know how to say it. I said, just spit it out. I said, at this point, it doesn't matter. It could be just about anything. He says, well, I said, just tell me. He says, well, your mom's up on the roof. Talk about a bad day. So, let me see, what is it? Oh, I've got two wonderful nieces. I mean, they're 4 and 5 years old, these two girls. I just love them to death. They're great. The difference is between a cactus in a school bus is sometimes all little pricks are on the inside. Am I right? They're perfect angels, right? You know I'm right. Apparently you have kids. or not. So I got to be honest with you tonight. The last time I was actually in a woman. You ready for this? I was visiting the Statue of Liberty. And I love big women. It's one of those experiences I'll never forget. It really was. It was great. Now, I was married for a very long time. And the wife and I, we would banter back and forth. You know, we'd say all kinds of shit and talk crap and everything else. So I got to tell you, anybody here married? Anybody married tonight? Anybody dating? Thinking about marriage? Well, if you were, I've got 48 years of experience of being married. And there's two things you got to know. The first one is, you want to be right or do you want to be happy? And I was a very happy man sometimes. So let me set this up for you. Well, the other thing was, what was the other thing? I don't know. I can't remember. Anyway, we'll just carry on. So I'll set it up for you. It's a beautiful day. I'm on the patio. I've got my beer in my hand. And the wife's down in the garden. She's bent over. All I can see is her backside. And I look at her. I sip on my beer and I say, honey, your butt's getting big. Well, she looks around at me and she blows me a kiss, and that's all cool. Yeah, all right. So I look over at the barbecue and I look at her butt. I grab up my tape and I walk down behind her and I measure her backside. And then I step back on the patio and I measure the barbecue and I say, honey, for the first time in 48 years of marriage, I was right. Your butt's 2 inches bigger than our barbecue. Well, she smiles at me, then she flips me off. I figure, okay, that's all right, So the evening comes to an end. She's in bed already on her side, facing away from me. And I crawl in bed because I'm feeling just a little bit frisky. So I curl up nice and tight to her, and I wrap my arm around her waist, and I give her a little squeeze, and there's nothing there. There's absolutely nothing there at all. So I kiss her on the ear, and that usually works, gets her going. Not this time. I still got nothing. So I grab up this little tiny mirror and I stick it on her nose to see if there's any breath there, if she's alive or not. Yeah, she's alive. She's alive. So she rolls over and pushes me away. And any of you that are dating, the look when you screwed up? If looks could kill. Well, I got that look. She pushes me away and she says to me, you don't really think that I'm going to fire up this big-ass barbecue for one teeny little weenie, do you? Well, it was pretty funny at the time. And speaking of which, that's my time. Thank you very much.
Woo! Thank you, John. Yay! All right. Sanitizing. Good. Everybody sanitizing. Very nice. Sanitizing, rot. Okay. Your next comedian, he is neither a comedian or a human, for that matter. He is made up purely of metal, and I'm not talking about awesome metals. I'm talking about Pantera metal. Give it up for Rot.
He just made my first joke. My mic. Don't trust him, dirty bastards. That's why I don't have any friends.
Boom, boom, boom. Well, I assume you can hear me? You can hear me? You can hear me? Of course you can hear me. I'm very loud. Make some noise for yourselves. You're all awesome. It might warm you up a little bit. You never know. My name is Rot. I am human, and I have feelings, despite popular belief. But that's just because I'm getting older, and I think my estrogen levels are rising while my testosterone is seeping out of me quickly. I'm 46 years old and recently divorced. Literally, after 2 years, we finally got to sign the papers. And I'm terrified because I have to get back out in the dating world. And I'm kind of an old school dude. I don't believe in just meeting somebody and banging them on the first date. Unless I have cocaine, then that's totally acceptable. Even if you're in a bathroom, then that's fine. It's happened before. I do kind of like having money. I don't have to spend my money on anybody but myself. I'm pretty lonely, but I could deal with that because I do have a lot of peanut butter and a wonderful dog. I love her. She gets lots of treats. Don't be weird. That's weird. Yeah, dating just sounds awful to me. I'm also worried about, going out there and dating somebody now. It's terrible. You could catch a STD and get COVID, which would be just awful, man. Burning when you pee while not being able to breathe sounds like that would suck again. Anyways, never had COVID. Anyways, let's see here. Slow down. It says slow down on top of my notebook every time, so I remember to breathe. I'm actually losing a lot of money being here right now. It's Friday night, which is my make a lot of money at the weed store night, but that's all right. Matt's homeless. He probably needs the money more than me. Let's see. Yeah, I watch a lot of UFC. Anybody here watch UFC? Dude, I love it. I love the fact that women are fighting. It's really amazing to see them out there and just knowing that they're influencing a whole bunch of women to come up and fight and be badasses. But it is confusing sometimes because you're walking around and you're seeing these chicks that look all beat up and you're like, I wonder if she just got out of a badass fight or she just doesn't know how to make a sandwich. You know? And I'm a man that likes a good sandwich. I quit a lot of things in the last 2 years, one of them being drinking. I'm on day 513 without a drop of alcohol. My God, I picked the wrong year to quit fucking drinking. Yeah, no. Normally people would cheer the sound of horror, and you're all like, really? This year? Yeah, it was before I knew that the world was going to shut down. But that's all right. That's all right. What else to find? The sandwich joke did good. I thought I'd get more booze. That's cool. You ladies must like making sandwiches. What's up? Let's see here. How you guys liking the mask, you know? Anybody here you got like an opinion of the mask? Something you hate about it? Just something that bugs you about it? Anything? Can't see the glasses? That's awesome. When I was doing this by myself in the mirror, that was my fake answer from the crowd. And yeah, foggy glasses. I talk to myself a lot. It's not like I was just doing it for this. That does suck. But there's silver linings in not having the masks. You know, a couple of them is eye contact, which is really cool. We're getting back that ability to look into each other's eyes. A lot of people like me who have these like horrible British teeth that look like they're going through Brexit with this separation. I had a better joke for that, but whatever. I need to fix my teeth, but I like them. It gives me character. It also lets you know how old I am. Anyways, where was I? I was wandering off. Don't let the brain wander. Slow down. Slow down. Yeah, the masks also, though, are helping out the tweaker population a lot because now all that damage is just covered, and when you look into their eyes, you can actually see the human in them. Because we all have beautiful eyes, no matter what. They're beautiful, and you look in there, and you can see a glimmer of hope. I mean, they just hope they get more meth, but, I mean, it's still in there. Yeah, and guys and girls, we all got to be careful. You never know who you're hooking up with. You know, you make that eye contact at the Safeway with some lady, and you're like, hey, and she takes her mask off, and you're like, I picked the wrong year to quit fucking drinking. These are all personal experiences. I'm a bud tender. I finally fucking made it. All those years of practice, and I am an essential drug dealer in this fucking state. I know, right? I called my son. My oldest son works at Volcano Farms. He's a fucking bud grower. My daughter owns a house. I don't know how she's so awesome. I just have to say that everywhere I go, by the way. That's right. 1 out of 5 ain't bad. Anyways, and the drug dealer kid, that's cool. What was I saying? Yeah, but bud tending, boy, I'll tell you, I wish all the potters would stay the fuck off the internet and stop asking me questions. Back in the day, if you got in my car, first off, I might know the name of the weed. I'm from Alaska. We didn't really name our weed. It's not kill it, children. We're going to smoke it and burn it. But you get in my car and ask me what kind of weed, I'd be like, dude, it's good weed, all right? That's good. And then I'd be like, well, what's the percentage? I'd just look at it and be like, are you a fucking cop? Why are you asking me all these questions? I'm your drug dealer. And then these motherfuckers want discounts all the time. They want a discount. And like nobody seems to think that you're inside of a store buying marijuana instead of out in an alley somewhere giving a stranger your money and being like, did you even know that dude? Yeah, it's like, you know, they just drive off. And then sometimes they come back with cocaine, which isn't always bad. But you're like, dude, I mean, yeah, I'll take it. But I kind of wasn't what I was aiming for. Oh, yeah, and now there's so many letters to weed. There's CBD, CBDA, THC, THCA. It's like they're competing with the LGBTQ community. Huh? I don't know. I was trying hashtag innocent. I'm so scared and old. I don't know what to say anymore. I was going to start every joke with hashtag. Hashtag, it's cold up here. All right, whatever. And I'm from Alaska. I'm from fucking Alaska. I don't know what's happened to me, man. It's like, you guys as cold as mean. It's just fucking mean. I used to be able to stand out in like cargo shorts with like sandals on and a Slayer shirt in the middle of the winter waiting for the fucking school bus. We'd beat up the kid in the warm clothes like he was some sort of nerd. Idiot. He probably has a house. Anyways, how much time has that been? Am I getting there? You're getting there. I've had a lot of issues. We've all got issues right now, and I hope every single one of you is staying sane. And anybody watching this is better than anything on the news cycle or in social media, which is destroying our poor little monkey brains, man. We're not used to this much information. We're supposed to love those that we could reach and pretty much just tell everybody else to fuck off. It's been my theory most of my life. It seems to be working for me. If you try to hug me, you will take a spike in the fucking face. I initiate the hug. I initiate the hug, uncle. Sorry. There is such thing as nothing, free candy's free candy. He was a dentist. Does that make it weird? Because then I'd have to, never mind. He had his hands in my mouth a lot. That was weird. That got weird. Sorry, Mom. Sorry, Uncle Don. He's not a dentist. He's a weirdo that lives in California. But yeah, so we've all gone a little crazy, and it doesn't hurt to reach out and ask for help, but I can't trust any of my friends. So I've been seeing a therapist, and it's been helping a lot. Somebody to talk to, and we've grown really close, and then set up an appointment, and her secretary was told me that she had killed herself last week, and I was like, Jesus Christ, that's really sad, but now I got no one to talk to except my dog, who's always got peanut butter on her face for some reason. So she likes treats. It's not something to laugh at. And, but then I was like, well, there is a good side of this. At least now I'm not going to have to pay child support. So I was like, that was the silence I wanted right there. I love you all. Hell, Satan. Hey, don't smoke meth, all right? That shit's bad for you. Have a good day. Goodbye. Woo! Now I got to go to work and sell weed. Oh, shit. Which sure bag was mine? All right, this one. Get away from me, generic microphone. You're gross. Thank you. It's eerily quiet on this side.
Give it up for Rod, everybody. Thank you very much. Yeah, Rod. Johnny, did you sanitize? Or you go? Oh, you got gloves on. Okay, cool. All right, everybody, keep it going for your next comedian, Johnny D. Everybody, woo woo.
Hey, Joe, thanks for putting this together, man. Yeah. Thanks for having us all out here. I was really looking forward to this stream. Ladies and gentlemen in the audience, feel free to hum along if you don't know these words. I was dreaming when I wrote this. Forgive me if it goes astray. But when I woke up this morning, could have sworn it was Judgment Day. The sky was all purple, people running everywhere. Trying to run from the destruction, you know I didn't even care. Say it, you know it's 2020, party over. Tonight I'm gonna joke it like it's 1999. 1999, y'all. You know what's amazing? If you were born on this night in 1999, you are now legal to drink in all 50 states. You know what I like about 21-year-olds? I keep getting older, and they stay the same age. What, it's all right for Matthew McConaughey to say it, but not your Uncle Johnny? What's also amazing is that song came out more than a decade before the turn of the century. Genius marketing. So I'm coming up with a song, and it's titled 2020, it's going to be titled 2030. You know it's going to be dirty. What else is amazing? The Matrix came out in 1999. Incredible film, still holds up. Even the special effects. Yet it's more than 20 years later, and Netflix still sucks. Well, it's 2020, and I'm here to entertain. So if you didn't come to party, don't bother knocking on my door. Actually, nobody's knocked on my door in a long time.
I think you just scared the neighbors.
Being single in the time of COVID, bars are closed, so thank God or the devil for dating apps, right? You can still have a responsible first date. It's the 21st century. You can still get your coffee, have a walk and talk, right? The second date's a little more tricky. You got to find a restaurant with outdoor seating, and it's turning cold in Washington State, so that's a little tricky. The third date. Now, we all know the threshold for a third date. So does that mean if you take the step to become intimate, you have to quarantine together for 14 days? If Trump drops a bomb, we could all die here today. Before I let that happen, I'll dance my life away. Anyone here a doomsday prepper? I'm a prepper. Are you a prepper too?
I go to Winco every day. Does that mean I'm a prepper?
Most of the folks who have the money and are serious preppers, they build these bunkers and they stock it full of all this shelf-stable food that'll last 25 years and have shelves and shelves of guns. Yet I believe it is these same people who can't quarantine for 14 days or wear a mask. How long do you think they're going to last during the apocalypse? I tell you what my prepper plan is. I'm going to buy 30 days of ramen and just stay in my hole and then come out and just follow the blood trails back to their stock. I got a lion in my pocket, and baby, he is ready to roar. Every vote matters. Yep. Before I walked up here, I believe they were still counting. Every vote matters. Count all the votes. At least that's what white people say. I did say. You guys also say things like, you can be whatever you want to be. And freedom and justice for all. My favorite, the latest and greatest, make America great again. Yeah. I know these jokes are in. I expect to hear the sound of one hand clapping. How many Republicans does it take to screw in a light bulb? Are you kidding? They hire people for that. What's the difference between the Republican and alien agendas? Nothing. They'll both eat your children. What's the difference between the Republican and Nazi parties? The Nazis had better uniforms. Some people ask me, Johnny, why do you hate on the Republicans so much? Don't you know they're the party that freed the slaves? And I'm like, yeah, but I think ever since Lincoln, they've had buyer's remorse. Don't get me wrong, the Democrats are gangsters too. And I'm just afraid that Biden is Fredo. I know it was you. Actually, the Democrats are more kind of like the Keystone Cops. They couldn't catch Trump if they wanted. But the independents are worse. They're actually kind of like the political YouTubers. Everybody knows they're there, but nobody cares. And they really don't make a difference. War is all around us. My mind says prepare to fight. Speaking of being in fighting shape, I recently lost 30 pounds. That's right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And that's 30 pounds during lockdown since June. 40 pounds since January. And boy, do I miss the YMCA. I mean, not just for the social interaction, but the hot tubs. they make the best human soup. Or is it more of a stew? You know, so yeah, that's 30 pounds since June. And you might ask, what did I do? Well, I'm on the Trump diet plan. I can't afford shit. No, really, honestly, what I did was I quit sugar. I started drinking more water, and I did my best to try to walk 30 minutes a day. And I can tell you that quitting sugar was the hardest part because I love cookies.
1 minute.
You know, the walking was pretty hard too because in my opinion, if you have 30 minutes to go for a walk, you also have 30 minutes to take a nap. It was a challenge every day. So you might ask Johnny, well, if you don't eat sugar anymore, do you just eat salt? No. I sweeten my recipes with a little bit of honey, fruit, and maple syrup. And so I posted this on Facebook, and I got a total Karen response. Well, you know, those are still sugars. I had to reply, you know, my Facebook page is not the American Medical Journal. All right. Of course, I meant processed sugars and high fructose corn syrups. But I'm not rich, so I still eat regular peanut butter. Hey, Rot, you got some peanut butter for me, bud? I was dreaming when I wrote this, so sue me if I go too fast. But life is just a party, and parties weren't meant to last. My name's Johnny D, y'all. Namaste and good night.
Johnny D, everybody. Thank you, Johnny D. Fuck yeah. All right. Your next comedian, everybody, Samuel J. Good morning. How early is too early is the real question here, because I mean, when you say early, I've been early before. Like I was early when I got here tonight 3 weeks ago, because I've never done an internet thing before ever. Shout out to Nick if you're watching. You better have watched this and tell me what I say right now. I said Nick is watching. So I guess you're supposed to do something like that. Now, I don't have anything prepared, so I'm nervous. It's the adrenaline is flowing. I don't know if you care, but it was recently Halloween, so I went as a dude attending a Doctor Who Christmas party. Merry Christmas, everybody. Let's get this year over now. So what I'm saying is, who decided that this is fun size? Who? I mean, and does that mean like if you got one of those big 10-pound Ghirardelli chocolate bars, that's like a donkey ride to heaven? Or, I mean, is it broken down in those steps? It's like this just kind of masturbatory and then insertion in places and then donkey ride to heaven. I don't know. It's a chocolate progression that scares us all. It's like I said, this is unprepared, so it's okay to not laugh. So during COVID, you know, you're sitting at home, stuck at home, whatever, locked down, and this commercial keeps going on. It's like, New Dawn is 5 times stronger, faster to clean them there dishes. I was just like, wow, I didn't really know it was that hard to clean the dishes. And my girlfriend's like, well, of course you wouldn't. You never do them. I'm like, I do 2 dishes. And she's like, yeah, you do 2 dishes. Yeah, I only clean the cast iron pans when I cook with them, but it's every night. Come on, I make good food. I try. Anyway, she's wonderful. I don't know, masks. I'm not anti-mask. I think I'm a conscientious objector. I wear it to keep a job. I wear it when I need to shop. That's about it. I don't know if anyone else proclaims to do that, but I mean, because if you're laughing at people wearing them in the cars, you're not doing it right either. That's all I'm saying. Everyone going through voter depression right now. I mean, in reality, does it matter who wins to me? No, I mean, no. I might feel it in my check and the taxes, up, down. Doesn't matter who's in control. They go up and down. It's just deeper pocket diving for them. And you do social media? I got banned from Facebook for saying people are stupid. And am I wrong? I'm fucking dumb. I am as stupid as I come. Look, I was here 3 weeks fucking early. I'm still dressed from work. I'm the glow-in-the-dark idiot that's not telling funny jokes up here. And it's just like, yeah, can I make marks on the wall? No, they're instantly erased. Sorry, guys. Like it's invisible ink. It's written in sarcasm. It's hard to text sarcasm. There's not a font for that yet. And I don't video chat because who wants to look at this old fucking ugly mug, man? It's just like, what? Why are you calling me on fucking WhatsApp? No! Jesus. I don't know. Anybody else get calls on WhatsApp? I don't even know what it is. And it's on my phone already. I'm a broken old man in a new technology that's already failing because you're beyond it. You're all in TikTok land now. So it's just like I'm so fucking 2.5 years ago. If I wouldn't have said TikTok, I wouldn't even got that mumble laugh. See, I'm ancient. It's funny. So, have you ever been mad for the wrong reasons? Like, maybe. Okay. I was driving kind of fast, and it was raining, and I was like, no one needs to build a boat kind of raining. It was raining, and I spun out. I hydroplaned. The thing hydroplaned. I was wearing my seatbelt, and I hit the guardrail, and the airbag went off, and the seatbelt went snapped, and the airbag was to here. This is like, hey! I was like, fuck, I didn't get to hit the airbag. I was so pissed. Why was I mad at that while still going, son of a bitch, oh, wait, woo, we stopped facing the right way, go home. Biggest piece home, it's like a fly on a plane. Anyway. You ever, speaking of driving, so I guess maybe some guys will admit to relate to this. So I've driven from Coos Bay, Oregon to maybe Twin Falls, Idaho, and only stopped for gas. But I threw out a couple of good trucker tees when I got to the site, job site. Know what I'm saying? So I leave this bar one time, and only a couple drinks, but I'm a nervous pisser. So I get in the car and I'm driving. It's like it's just 12:01, and I get in the goddamn car and I'm driving on the freeway. It's like, oh, I should have peed before I left. So I pull into a McDonald's, and there's like 6 cop cars in the McDonald's parking lot, and the McDonald's had just closed. I was like, fuck. So I get back on the freeway. It's like, what do I do? Oh yeah, there's a bottle in the car. Whoop, nice 12-ounce water bottle. Hey, it's almost empty. Boop, boop. Now it's empty. Boop, 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 boop. I'm all good until it's not just a 12-ouncer. Ah, fuck! Couldn't shut it off. Fuck. What do I do? I'm pouring the bottle out the thing, trying to catch more of it, but it's too late because I still got my underwear and my shorts wet. It was in the summer, and it's just like, okay, I know what I'll do. Pull my shorts and underwear down. It's just like, boop, turn on the heater. Bam! Yeah, joke's on me. Whole ride home, it was on defrost. Oh, man, it's like squish, squash. Hi, baby, I'm sorry again. Oh, man, I should have never even taken those pills is what I'm saying. Dude, pills are awesome. But I've never had a good time on pills until I've been told about it like a day and a half or two later by the person that literally carried me home. And it's just like, wow, you really did? Why? I'd have left my ass in the street. Get rid of that stuff. It's, oh man. Anyway, I guess what I'm saying is thank you for caring. You know who you are. Am I going anywhere near?
I stopped paying attention. You
Thank you for getting the biggest laugh tonight, sir. You have helped me immensely.
yeah. I don't know
That
about
is-
you, but you gave me like 100 milligram THC drink. And I don't
Well,
usually
you know,
drink my weed.
It was good. I had to see. I'm reciprocal. I was here early. I told you I was here 3 or 4 fucking weeks ago because I've never done one of these before, and I've never wanted to because there's never a crowd. It's you and that computer. And she's like, "This is a funny joke. I'm telling you, it's funny." And you know it'll die even if you laugh. And then there's other ones that did die with all of you, and it's just like I'm not gonna remember that shit at all until I watch it like 5 or 6 times. Oh, that joke was not funny. So I'm just like, oh man,
Preach.
I don't even remember where I was going with that ramble on because of the 100 milligrams in that fucking drink. I
Amen.
did have jokes prepared. I could look at my phone and put on the old man's if you didn't mind, but I think I might have got through what was on my book, so I don't want to look.
Amen. Brother.
And you know what?
Amen.
You guys have been awesome, and I have been Samuel J., and I'm going to get the hell out of here.
A fucking poet comedy. Woo, Samuel J. Thank you very much. Love you, bro. All right, everybody. We're going to try to hurry this up so that way we can stop freezing our fucking titties off here. So I'm going to bring up your next comedian real quick. Everybody give a warm welcome to Paul Goodwin. Let me get your mic.
It's the rock and roll show.
Just a second. All right, I was just wondering where I was in that camera for a second. Damn. I was worried about what I was going to look like when the camera was on me, and yeah, I look like I'm about to confess my crimes to a couple of hard-nosed detectives. It's been about 9 months, 10 months since I've done comedy, so we're going to see what happens. I wrote a pretty good set 5 minutes ago when I was smoking by my car. We'll see what comes out from that. It's been tense times. I haven't been really writing comedy. Spent most of my time worried about what's going on with my family in Mississippi, because there's tough times in Mississippi. Things are going wrong. I recently got a hand-mailed physical invitation in the mail to my 10-year high school reunion, and I graduated 12 years ago. And it was a fuck-up because it was dated this year. I didn't even check with the school to see what was going on Facebook. But it is getting rough. My family voted. I don't know if you saw their pictures on Facebook, but they post about 400 pictures of them with their I voted sticker on their chest, the ultimate participation trophy. But I'm sure they were real proud of themselves, getting in their trucks on Tuesday morning in their Sunday best, their breakfast beer between their thighs. Because there's no open carry law in Mississippi as long as you don't blow a .8, which they won't. Because their bodies have adapted and evolved over generations of drinking and driving to cut their BA off. If they do get pulled over, their accent mixed with wrestling references just makes you think they're brain damaged. And you can also, that's perfectly legal to drive with in Mississippi too. But my mom, I'm not going to talk about her. Don't know why you brought her up. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's been bittersweet being at home a lot more, you know, not going out, not doing anything. I get to spend more time with my kids, so that's cool. My wife, you know, she's had a lot of stuff to teach me that I've been doing wrong, so she's had a lot of time to do that. It's been nice. I was interrupted by my youngest daughter in the middle of arguing with my wife about how I know where shit is, so she asked me where the scissors were for construction paper. Then I had to look at my wife. Then I realized I'd lost that argument. But I've just been going to work, living life as normal mostly. Work at Lowe's, that's cool. You can smoke there as long as you don't get caught. They don't want you can't smoke on the property. I have to walk 4 feet across the sidewalk to a little patch of grass and then blow my smoke more than 4 feet back into the Lowe's parking lot. But I don't need much, so I've been fine. You know, I just need my kids, my wife, my smokes, my weed, my Coke, the drink, my video games, Hulu. I actually need a lot of stuff, I'm starting to realize. But yeah, you know, it's cool, man. Every day I just wake up and I think, you know, at least I'm not in Mississippi. You know, in Mississippi, you can actually go to jail for a year and get fined up to $500 if you interrupt a church service, which I agree, you should not interrupt a church service. But the fine is a little harsh, especially when you compare it to the $25 fine you get for fucking an animal. I feel like those are not equal. One of those seems worse. Laws are crazy in Mississippi. If I had to go back to Mississippi, this is what I would do. Because it's perfectly legal. I'm going to say that right before I say this. This is perfectly legal. I'm going to drive at night, and I'm going to drive the wrong way down a one-way street towards an oncoming car. And I'm going to have to hit them for this to work. But once I hit them and the police arrive, I will calmly tell the authorities that I was in the right, and I would show them the gas lantern that I had hanging from my fucking rearview mirror. Because in Mississippi, as long as you have a gas lantern hanging around your rearview mirror, you can drive the wrong way down a one-way street, and you have the right-of-way. That's what's in their laws, people. That's what's going on right now. And they're voting. They're voting. There's 85-year-old women voting for their future in Mississippi right now. It's wild times we live in. They're going to start a civil war, I assume. Probably because they keep saying there's going to be a civil war. It's mostly coming from the people with all the guns, you know. That's the weird part about it. But we'll just have to do our best for the oncoming onslaught. But they're keeping everybody in Mississippi. No abortions, no nothing. They're raising all these kids in orphanages, and they're raising them up to just be in their army for when shit pops off. Because the guys sitting around the table in Mississippi making the laws are the same guys who would watch The Hills Have Eyes and just be marveled by how strong and agile those inbred freaks are. And they're going to use them. They're going to march up here. We're going to do our best. We're going to mine bridges with bombs that can only be defused with long division. And then we'll write the fucking signs on the sideways and the roads. We'll make all the town names. We'll just write them in cursive, and that'll fuck them up so hard. They'll get lost in Montana in the winter, and they'll just freeze to death. They'll get caught up in a shack somewhere with their buddies, and they'll eat their 2 weeks worth of Vienna sausages in 4 days. After another 3 or 4 days of talking about which NASCAR legend would kick Colin Kaepernick's ass the hardest, one of them would forget that joke he made about Viennas tasting like humans was a joke, and he thought that maybe it was something Bear Grylls said. They'll eat each other. It's insane. But I know which side I would have to fight for if shit did pop off, though. I would immediately leave this and join the side with all the guns. I'm sorry, I'm a traitor, I'm a coward. I would thicken up my accent and I'd walk right over to their line. It wouldn't be that easy. I'd have to pass a test or something quick-witted, or he'd be like, hey, like, what's up? Say, what's your favorite Van Damme movie? Bloodsport? What's your favorite soccer team? None of them. All right, get in here. But I would just serve as a spy, probably. I'd relay information back here about what beef jerky they're into and shit like that. Eventually, my Wikipedia page would read that I was hung as a traitor after they found an entire season of RuPaul's Drag Race on my DVR. But well, I'm ended on that. My name is Paul Goodwin. Thank you.
Woo! Thank you, Paul Goodwin. Awesome. Hey, I just want to say that on the live stream, this guy named JJ, he said, it's funny because he looks like he was found in Southern Wrestling Circuit. He even looks like Hillbilly Jim, whoever that is. All right. Your next comedian, everybody, give it up for Trista Bloom, everybody.
Thanks, guys, for coming. This is my first live stream show. It's fucking cold. The green room was great. They had all my favorite music playing. It was nice and toasty. There were snacks. The green room is my car. I had to put my cat down today. It turns out he just really doesn't like to be held. I am a cat mom. I have 2. I love them. But the lint rolling, like, there is hair everywhere. If I could just find a fur-resistant dildo. For now, I have to keep it in a Ziploc. This kitty is fur-free. But even routine maintenance doesn't prevent hairballs. I had a guy going down on me. He came up for air. He was pulling hair out of his mouth. I was so embarrassed. But luckily I keep duct tape in my bedside table. So I just pulled it out, wrapped it around my hand a few times, like, stick out your tongue. Gave him a couple rough taps. You said you wanted to eat pussy. This whole pandemic and dating, it's weird. Before the restaurants and the bars opened back up, I had a guy, he planned a grocery store date. He wanted to meet in the bakery so we could have a donut date. That's cute, right? I didn't go. I was too afraid of getting a yeast infection. I had a guy show up, this is after the restaurants open, I had a guy show up in a full Mandalorian helmet. He didn't take it off the whole time, that was his mask. He's like, this is the way. It's like, not to impress me. I like the free dinner aspect of dates. I don't really like the small talk. I can't stand it. I was with this guy, and he is one of those people that thinks that all 7.5 billion people on this planet can be categorized into 12 astrological signs, because that makes sense. He's trying to figure out if we're compatible. He's like, when's your birthday? I was like, oh my God, if I have to answer this question one more time, I'm going to shoot myself in the face. He's like, oh, you sound like a Pisces. I'm like, no, I was born in July. I'm a Cancer. He's like, oh, the crab. I was like, no, like, you're going to go bald and bankrupt trying to treat me. one of the things you're trying to find common interests with the people you go out with, right? And unlike Paul's high school, I like math. I like math because it's reliable, it's consistent. Like 2 + 2, it's always going to equal 4, right? Until this 2 starts identifying as a 5. I see the equation, I'm like, oh, that's easy, it's 4. And they're like, actually, in this case, the answer's 7. Because when 2 looks in the mirror, they don't see a 2, they see a 5. I'm like, okay, I can get down with that, it's fine. I do have one question, though. Like, where'd they buy this shitty mirror? Shouldn't it just be a backwards 2? Like, a number is a number. And they're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Can you stop calling them that? They prefer to be called integers. Like, I'm not trying to offend anyone with that joke. All I'm saying is that if I invite a 10 over to my house and 2 5s knock on the door, my night is going a little differently than what I expected. If I could choose my dream guy, like if I could pick him out of the sky, I'd be a health inspector. Are there any health inspectors in here? No? Dang it. I really want to date one because there's this place in the food service industry. It's between 41 and 140 degrees. It's called the Danger Zone. 98.6. Like, not only will my slot machine have a roadmap, it will have its own theme song. It's like, highway to the danger zone. Gonna get you right into this danger zone. Before he heads on down to the all-you-can-eat buffet, I'll have to disclose that eating raw or undercooked vagina may lead to foodborne illness. Has anyone ever got salmonella from eating pussy? Anybody? No. You're a liar. Like E. coli, maybe E. coli, because it is right next to the poop factory. If I can't find a health inspector, I'd settle for a blind guy. Not because there's anything wrong with this. It's just once he decides to leave, he won't be able to see where he's going. I'll invite him over, rearrange the furniture real quick, put the couch in front of the front door. He like pulls a stick out, trying to get acclimated with the place. He's like, that's weird. I can't find any exits. I'm like, yeah, we live here now, together, forever. Isn't it great? You say hostage, I say husband. One of the questions I end up answering a lot is what got me into comedy. And I've just always had a thing for dad jokes. Like, I was going to write a joke about procrastination, but I can do it later. I also really like dad jokes because they remind me of how I used to have one. He died. It's not like he went out for cigarettes and abandoned me or something. But I do have his ashes, and I've been trying to take him to places he's never been before. I took him down to Hawaii, to the green sand beach. And even with SPF 100, I still got really, really sunburned. I was flaking worse than a millennial who wakes up and realized they had made plans to go hiking the night before. I rode over to Idaho on my motorcycle with him on the back. And the thing about riding is, like, it doesn't matter where I'm going, right? Because if I sit back far enough, I'm definitely coming. Idaho, they have speed limits that are 80 miles per hour. So for me, that's freaking great. Not so much at nighttime, because they don't put any of that potato money towards streetlights. It's the pitch black of night. My high beams reflect back at me from an elk's eyeball. My butthole puckered up so tight, you guys, like a sour lemon warhead, just. But then this big brown bug banged into my visor, and I lost my shit. Like, literally, I shit my pants. And I was about 55 miles from the nearest service station or any other business, so I just had to deal with the doo-doo. My seat is leather on the bike, and I had a free jeans credit, so that part of cleanup wasn't bad. But you know how, like, babies have blowouts? Yeah, I don't think my hair or my jacket is ever going to recover. I actually, my dad is here with us tonight, and I wasn't planning on bringing his ashes out to Bremerton for an outside show, but I ran out of dry shampoo. I've been working on a college degree, not my own. It's too expensive. You got to pay for your books, your tuition, for someone else to do your assignment. So if you need your work done, hit me up. Let's see. Oh yeah, Amy Coney Barrett was just sworn into the Supreme Court recently. She's already got anti-abortion ads running on the radio. Have you guys heard them yet? It's just Ja Rule saying, "It's murder." Pretty soon, the only way that I'm going to get government-approved birth control is if I sneak into one of the border detainment centers. Do you guys think abortion doctors high five if they hit a double yolk? Like, got 'em. Both. I really like abortion jokes because they kill every time. There's this rule in China that you guys might have heard of. Like, you're only allowed to have one kid, right? What happens if she gets pregnant with twins? Like, how do they decide which baby to take home and which baby to send to the Nike factory? It's a trick question. They send the baby with the smaller hands to the Nike factory for the detailed stitching. These are just jokes, you guys.
It's a drunk rally.
No, I think losing a child is terrible because then you have stretch marks and nothing to show for it. I had to quit drinking. It was just getting way too hard to text and drive like this. One of my girlfriends, she got a DUI. Now she has a blow and go in her car. So when we go out together, I'm the one that has to drive her car around. And it's not as easy as it sounds to just blow and go. You have to hum at the same time. I go to start her car. I'm like, This thing beeps at me. It says failed. I'm like, what? I look at the error message. It says blow harder. I'm like, okay, I have asthma. This makes sense. So I take a deep breath. I try again. I'm like, it beeps at me again. Failed. The error message this time says blow longer. I was like, hey, Cassie, I think your car's trying to be my boyfriend. And it's giving me PTSD. She's like, PTSD? I was like, yeah, pressure to suck dick. As if on cue, the visor flipped down, pushed on the top of my head. All right, guys, that's it for me. I'm Trista. Thank you.
Woo! Thank you, Trista, very much. Appreciate it. All right, make sure everybody remembers to stay sanitized. Thank you very much. Sanitize those hands up. Don't touch your junk. Appreciate that. All right, everybody, your next comedian, very funny guy. Everybody give it up for Naren Van.
What is up, everyone? Hey, give it up for Joe, giving us his home. Great job, Joe. I appreciate you lending. Is this a kind of a garage? Is it? Yeah. No, thanks for having your shed for us here. It's really nice of you. Shout out to all the other comics here tonight. We saw Billy Campbell. Billy Campbell was here. He looks like Mexican Sideshow Bob. Well, that's kind of fucked up. I can't compare him to a Simpsons character. That's kind of fucked up because the Simpsons are funny. And, it's kind of not nice. We had John Ludwig here. John Ludwig was here earlier. His jokes, give it up for John, wherever the fuck he is. Give it up for John. His jokes were much funnier when I heard him on the internet the first time. I mean, just because his demographic of friends don't know how to use the internet doesn't mean we don't know how to use the internet, John. He's gone now. He's gone to bed. He's fucking old. Let's see who else we got here. We got Rot. Rot was here. He had a good set. He left. The least surprising thing about him was that he sells drugs for a living. He looks like Slob Zombie. That's what he looks like. Let's see what we had here. Let's go down the list. We had Johnny D. Johnny D, first time media, bro. Johnny D. You look like Arsenio alcohol. I took notes on everybody here. James Roberts, where you at, brother? James Robert. What's up, dude? We've been doing like some mics together for a long time. He's from Centralia, even though he looks like a Seattle lesbian. It's fantastic there, dressed like that there. Let's see what else we got down the list. Sammy J, there he is right there. He looks like the fucking Mucinex germ from the commercial. Go down the list here. Paul Goodwin, great job. Honestly, great fucking job. Paul fucking murdered it, guys. No, seriously, good fucking job, Paul. Seriously, clap for him. He was fucking hilarious. He was on point. I haven't seen him in like 2 years. He fucking killed it. So this is the first time I've seen him in 2 years. Now he looks like the kid from Bad Santa, all grown up. That's what he fucking looks like there. Trista was here. Trista, good job the last comment before me, Trista. Nope, okay, there we go. Trista wasn't even telling jokes. She was just reading her Tinder bio the entire time. Fuck that, I wanted to hear. But no, it was great there. No, but good job for everyone. This isn't easy. A lot of us have been doing this for like fucking 6-7 months because of COVID. You know, COVID that kind of fucked up a lot of things for everybody, guys. Like before COVID, I used to smoke weed all the time, guys. Like I don't smoke weed anymore. I haven't smoked weed in 7 months. You know why? Do you know how hard it is to be an Asian guy coughing in public right now? It's fucking scary. Scary as shit. Nobody wants to be around that. But the thing is, like I like smoking weed because, like, if you do the right drug, you like the right kind of music. If you smoke, you will love like reggae if you did like a little bit of weed. You will love EDM if you did a little bit of Molly, and you will love country music if you would do your cousin. And like, it's crazy though. It all works out with everything there. Oregon's pretty fucking crazy right now, guys. Oregon legalized all the drugs right now. It's fucking crazy. It's crazy now. Like, Oregon, like Portland was already so white. Now it's just about to get way whiter. It's crazy. And it's crazy thing about Oregon, or people are afraid, like, oh, is Oregon going to be the gateway state where other states start legalizing and shit? Like, pretty soon Utah's going to legalize, like, tea and soda. It's going to be fucking weird over there. Here's the weird thing about Utah, guys. So, like the number one city per capita with the most plastic surgery is Salt Lake City, Utah. There's a real thing. And per capita, per population, Salt Lake City, Utah has the most people that have plastic surgery in that town, which makes sense because if you're one of 6 wives, you're probably going to stand out a little bit, I guess. Too many Mormons here in Bremerton. I'm sorry. It's all good here. But no, it's crazy, though. Like when I was performing in L.A., I saw this. I was driving by and I saw this one sign for this one place. It said Bob's Sex Change Clinic. And I'm like, first of all, that's fine if you want to do that there. But if you're gonna have your own kind of like business, you might as well have a cool name for it. Like if I had my own sex change clinic, I would call it Swap Meets. So I'm an ordained minister. I've done 93 weddings. I do it as a side job to help pay for college. I'm going to college to be a divorce lawyer. I'm drinking White Claw because we don't have Hennessy here. It's crazy. I'm going to be like extremely dark or extremely white. It's going to be one of those two things. No in betweens. But White Claw is fantastic. Keeps you hydrated. But no, I like, what was I going to say? So, like, it's a crazy thing about, like, COVID now. Like, so many people are really anti-mask and for mask. But I'm only for mask because I'm courteous of other people, you know? Whether you're for it or against it. If you're for it, like, okay, cool, then I'm respectful of your wishes. But if you're against it, the worst thing it is, like, I'm fogging up my glasses. You're going to feel safe around me, whatever. I'm just going to be courteous for other people. But I have this other friend who's super anti-mask. He's like an angry guy, and he has like 6 kids. I'm like, dude, Of course you're against wearing protection, you know? Makes perfect fucking sense there. It's crazy, like, you know, I remember, like, before COVID, I remember reading that Bill Gates bought himself a $400 million yacht. A $400 million yacht, because there's, like, people like, oh, if you're rich, you just treat yourself. Okay, that's really treat yourself. Buy a $400 million yacht. I realized that made me feel really poor. Because if I'm going to treat myself, I might masturbate twice. That's about as far as I'm going to take it here. I grew up in a small town called Tenino, Washington. Very small town. I was the only brown kid in my entire school district. It was kind of like the movie. The Goonies, and I was Data every fucking day of my life. And then the thing is it sucks is they tease me for every little thing. I remember my first job, my first paycheck, I bought myself a pair of brown slacks. I was all happy to wear it. But you know, the kids called me in school. They called me Khaki Chan, and like, you know, it's okay. It was a joke. And some people did get sad with that in Seattle. Like, they legit guys like, oh, I was like, no, bitch, this is a joke. It's okay, just calm down. But also it sucks. It's the next day I was like, you know what, fuck it, no more wear jeans, whatever, guys, I'm gonna wear jeans. Then the next day they called me Jet Levi. It's like, god damn it, every little thing. It's just not fair, you know. But also, like, being from a small town, it means that people don't know how to have like small talk with me. I remember going to my friend's house for the first time, and one of my parents' friends saw me waiting downstairs. Like, oh, Naren, you must be Ryan's friend. So my neighbor's friend, they have an Asian pear tree in their backyard. I'm like, we just call those pear trees. And people just don't have like small talk with me. They don't know how to interact, you know. And it's always funny. I remember like taking one of my white friends to Korean barbecue. You guys ever had Korean barbecue before? It's confusing for taking someone there for the first time. Like, my friend was like, so let me get this straight. I paid $25 and I cook my own fucking food. How does that work? That's not fair, you know? I'm like, yeah, it's great. You go to Korea to have American barbecue or grill your own fucking hot dogs. I don't know, just enjoy it. It's fantastic, right? So he ends up liking it a lot. His favorite dish was bulgogi, which is a Korean ribeye, really good in season. He liked it so much, he brought his girlfriend there the next week, and he calls me and says, hey, bro, I think I fucked up because I was at the restaurant and he called me. He's like, hey, I tried to order that thing I liked, but I think I said it wrong. I'm like, well, what did you say? He's like, I tried to order a bukkake. I'm like, bro, that's a different kind of protein. And I think that's Japanese. It's different there. No, like, I love Korean barbecue. I just wanted to open up by my house. I went there just to check it out. It was awful. The lights weren't on. It was dark. There was no running water. The owner was a dick. And there hasn't been food there for months. And apparently I went to North Korean barbecue. It's nuts there. It's not really cool. And it was crazy. Like, I like to go to places like when I was high. I like to get high and used to go to like Papa Murphy's. And I whenever I order a pizza, I'm like, and then when I order like for here, and I just eat it right fucking there. And because Papa Murphy's is one of those things where you have to like, Papa Murphy's kind of like a strip club, you know? It means that, oh, you like what you see? Well, go home and get the job done over there. You know, that's what it is. Literally what it is. I think it's crazy. Like, in our state, like, we can't have this. We can't have comedy mics anymore. But in 2 months, and like 2 weeks from now, strip clubs are going to be open. I think that's fucking ridiculous. Like, hey, we want to disappoint our parents too, you know? It's just fucking not fair. And the crazy thing about strip clubs is I remember the first time I went to a strip club when I was 18, like almost 19. I went to a strip club, and I was like, I remember seeing a girl dancing there, and she smiled, and she was giving me a lap dance, and she smiled, and it shined brightly against my face because she had braces on. And the whole time I was just thinking, like, this is different. She has braces, so I mean she's probably young, probably my age. Is this normal? Okay, whatever. But now that I'm in my 30s, I went to a strip club, and I saw this girl with braces. I have a way different reaction for it now. Because when she was dancing at me, she started smiling, so I braces like, oh my God. This place has benefits? How fucking cool. What a nice place to work. Dental is expensive as shit. It's crazy, though. Let's see. So, like, another weird thing about our state, we have bikini baristas. I think that's crazy here. Like, it's crazy that you leave the place with an erection and 10 minutes after coffee, like, I need to take a shit while I have an erection. This is going to be really, really weird. And I want to open up my own bikini baristas ran by with just entirely Asian women. I don't want to call it brew balls. All right, that's a wash. I'm gonna throw that one away. So I do like to smoke weed back in the day. What the most annoying thing about smoking weed is you have that friend that would steal like your lighter, and the lighter jacker friend. That was always annoying to me. So what I always did here to help interact that, the cop stopped that. I went to Fred Meyer one time, and people taped a spoon through their pens at a checkout stand to stop people from stealing their pens. So that gave me an idea. So I started taping a spoon to all of my lighters, right? And now it backfired because now all my friends think I have a heroin problem. It's fucking crazy here. So the weed, all the smoke shops where I live now in Auburn, they all have the same inventory. They always got the pipes and paraphernalia. They got the swords and ninja stars, and pornography and sex toys on all of them. They all have the same inventory. So basically, if you're a perverted ninja stoner, that's your one-stop shop, you know. So like the thing is, like with me, like I do comedy, so I needed to get a bondage mask for a skit I was doing. So I went to my local smoke shop because they had all that stuff there for some reason. So I went there. I'm just like, all right, cool. I need a bondage mask. But the girl working the front counter, she was gorgeous, right? She was drop dead gorgeous. I didn't want to creep her out by buying just a bondage mask. So I played it safe, and I bought a knife too. That's what I did. So now we're married. No, I'm just kidding. I'm very single. But no, it's great. I have a rule when it comes to dating. It's a very simple rule. I like my women like I like my coffee. You know. Without any fucking kids. And let me explain. On a comedian's budget, it's hard to pay for a third meal, you know, let alone a second meal or a fourth meal, let alone 7 fucking meals. You know, that's a lot of fucking kids. So if I'm going to pay for myself and another person's meal, I'm going to go to the best place on my budget, and that's Costco for some samples. That's what we're going to do. Or as I like to call it, white people dim sum. That's what it is. I told a joke in Alaska, and people were like, what's dim sum? It's like, think Panda Express, but samples. All the very time, like, what's Panda Express? Like, well, this isn't going anywhere. Yeah, fucking Alaska is crazy. Yeah, there's a lot of racial tension in the world. There is. Like, I think it's sucks. Remember, like, Jussie Smollett. He pretended to get beat up for being black and gay. And that was offensive to me, because I have black friends and gay friends that get harassed every day, and he made a mockery of it, you know, to like try to save his career. But the most offensive thing that Jussie Smollett did, he had a concert, said, "Hey, I'm the gay Tupac." That's what he said. And I grew up in 90s hip hop, and that was the most offensive thing he's ever done. Basically, when he said he was a gay version of Tupac, that pretty much makes him Ja Rule, and it's crazy, though. 2 last things I'm going to say. So I like to smoke weed and drive. Most people like frown upon that, but honestly, smoking weed and driving is one of the safest things you could do, guys. It is. Because when you're high and you're driving, you think everyone behind you is a cop, so you slow the fuck down, okay? It's very safe. It very is. I remember back in Tenina, we only have like 1 cop out there, and I got pulled over for being high. I got pulled over. And the cop pulls me over. He's like, he shines a flashlight in his eye. He's like, "Excuse me, young man, have you been smoking weed and driving?" He said, "I think fast." I was like, "No, officer, I would never smoke weed and drive. That's dangerous." "It isn't dangerous." "I don't even know where you get weed." "You get it from Rocked." And the officer's like, "Well, if you haven't been smoking weed and driving," he's trying to flash out my eyes even more. He's like, "If you haven't been smoking weed and driving, young man, why do your eyes look like that?" So I had to think fast. Like, "Officer, I'm Asian. That's just how my eyes always look, okay?" And he's like, "Oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I did not mean that. I did not mean that. Hey, if my neighbor's friend has an Asian pear tree in their backyard." And it's like, "What I meant to say was, young man, if you haven't been smoking weed and driving, why were you swerving back there?" I was like, "Officer, I told you I'm Asian. That's just how I drive a car." Last thing I want to say, guys, you guys have been awesome. It's fucking cold. And the last thing I want you guys to do tomorrow is like, hey, I'm sneezing and coughing a lot. I was hanging out with this Asian guy. But no, seriously though, like, by a round of applause, who here watches porn? Anybody?
Fuck yeah, bro.
Just the men clapping. and the women are liars. That's what you guys are. The ones who didn't clap, you are a fucking liar. Your phone's on incognito mode right now, okay? That's what it is. You probably have an OnlyFans, and that's okay. That's all right. So the thing is, like, porn is so mainstream. Like, porn, when you watch porn, there's only ads for more porn. And that's stupid because that's something you're already fucking doing, you know? Like, porn is so mainstream, they should have ads for regular shit. They should. Like, think about it. It's like, oh, hey, you like it dirty. You like it rough. You like it your way. Come eat at Burger King. Check us out sometime. It's fantastic. It's like, oh, this guy's going to go fuck his neighbor. If you're going to fuck your neighbor, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there, you know? It's like, oh, you watch 10 squirting videos in a row. You know what else tastes like piss? Coors Light. It tastes just like it. And then finally it's like, oh, hey, I noticed you watched 10 straight sex videos in a row. You know who else loves straight sex? Chick-fil-A. We're the best at that there. It's all we prefer. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much.
Woo! Thank you, Naren. Naren Van, everybody. You can find him on Facebook if you want him to marry you. He also goes by Narton Van as well. Breaking news, everybody. We have an announcement to make. This just in. We have somebody from the future here with us tonight in the audience. He is from the year 4242. And he has a message for us. And all we know about this man is that his name is Gary. So give it up for Gary.
Yeah. Oh, God. I love your air. My air tastes, it tastes like smog and death. Oh, God. That was really rude of me. Wait, what year is it? What year is it? What year is it? 2020. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. In my time, I think Joe told you I'm actually from the future. In my time, we have a greeting. We have a greeting in my time, and it's actually the AOL login. Don't make fun of me for that, okay? Like, why do you say what's up? Like, with this guy? It's just what we do, okay? It's the AOL login. You're supposed to say, you got mail. It's like super insulting that you didn't say that, but I get it. You're not from my time, okay? I was ready to vaporize, like all of you, seriously. Yeah, I'm from the future. Seriously, I'm from the future, and the reason why I'm here is because when you open up a history book in the year 4000 to the period 2000 to 2100, all there is in your hologram history book is a poop emoji with a frowny face. Yeah, we've completely transitioned to the emoji language in the future, and we were trying to figure out, like, why is it just a poop emoji and a frowny face? So, like, they sent me back to try and figure it out. And we were, like, trying to take bets. We were like, well, what could it possibly be? Is it, like, some kind of global pandemic and, like, a sentient orange is trying to coup power across the globe? He really is part orange. He really is. He's from my time. He's also a time wizard, along with Elon Musk, obviously, and Bjork. You know Bjork? She's a time wizard. The Lady Gaga, Tupac Shakur, time wizard. He's chilling. He's chilling in the future. He just zipped right out of there. My time wand broke. I'm stuck here with y'all. Yeah, the orange guy. He's actually spliced with the DNA of an orange. We've unraveled the genetic code in the future. Yeah, why do people do that? Why do they splice themselves with fruits? Because they think it makes them taste better? It's disgusting. Anyway, it's crazy. There's people walking around with, like, dog heads, because we've completely unraveled the genetic code. There's people walking around with dog heads. There's like people with raven heads walking around. You can splice yourself with anything, and you're probably like, oh, wait a second. People walking around with dog heads, and in their language is emojis. Oh, the pyramids weren't made by aliens. They were made by time travelers. Bingo. Yeah. True. Pyramids made by time wizards. It's true. You didn't figure that out? Come on. Come on. Yeah. Having somebody in charge who's a sentient, genetically modified human orange hybrid, that's not so bad. Listen, the president in the year 4000 is literally a lame duck. Human body, duck head, walks around like quack, 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 like limps around because she was actually injured in the tragically injured in the Octopi Wars. The Octopi Wars. Seriously, no, this isn't a joke. This is not a joke. Listen, I think you're laughing. This is serious. This is like. Wait, do you even know? Do you even know? You thought the octopuses were animals? They're aliens! They're here spying on us in the ocean. They're aliens. You actually thought the thing was an animal? They're aliens. Have you even been to the bottom of the Mariana Trench yet? They're building all kinds of weapons of war down there. They team up with the platypuses. It's a horror show. You're laughing. What do you say? Oh my God. You actually thought the platypus was an animal? Like sewed on Bill? You thought that was an animal? They're aliens!
Jesus, Gary, you're scaring my neighbors, bro.
They're aliens. The platypus is the most intelligent creature within 10 light years. Highly, highly evolved creature. Terrifying creature. We're in the midst of the platypi-octopi war in my time. Anyway, the reason why I'm here in Bremerton, like you're like, why do you time travel in Bremerton? Because I've heard, other than just poop emoji, frowny face, which I know, but past that a great warrior, space pirate comes from these lands. All we know about this man is that he goes by the name Jolly Roger. And he looks like Blackbeard the pirate. And I hear he likes to smoke a lot of bud. That's what we know about this man. That's all we know. So if you have seen anybody who matches that description, you think like, oh, I can see this guy going by Jolly Roger, and maybe he's like looks like Blackbeard and he smokes a lot of bud, just let me know, okay? Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Gary. Gary. It's going to take a while for me to process what I just watched. That 100 milligram fucking edible is fucking me up right now. I can't believe I agreed to pay you $20 for that. Actually, now that I think about it, $20 is about right, I think. Thank you, Gary. All right, well, that's going to wrap up the live stream comedy show, everybody. Thank you very much for coming out. You can make donations online. You can support the donations online. Please donate. Or you can just give me money directly for a good cause. Also, yeah, we're cold as fuck, so we're going to try to get to warmth. Thank you very much, everybody.